Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Europa Universalis 5 here with French Capte, who is at war with St. Cloud and their allies. I do apologize for not starting off with the war, but I was recording that my sister called, and I didn't want to load back in and start from scratch. So we did take St. Cloud and Mount Belliard. We have 48% war score. Ironically, they do tell us that we have a white piece as evident because we have not challenged the occupation of the war goal of the following wars. We've literally occupied the county that we declared war on. So I don't really know what that means, right? Now, what is hilarious is our generals are awful. We have our General Philippe de Chavarie, who is considered a master of arms infantry power plus 10%. He has a martial score of 34, which is better than this guy, Gerard de Montfaucon, who has a martial score of 29. The game is paused. So, sorry. Can't believe I read that. The lure of easy money. A number of economic investors have approached Countess Jean, the third Capet, asking for the right to develop one of the areas under our control. They'd pay a lump sum for the right to extract revenue from our lands, and it would then be up to them to collect the money in our stead. The investors are quick to point out that it is in their interest to invest in the local infrastructure to increase the chances that they'll make more than the sum they have paid for the right to our land. We could lose 10 prestige, or we could say we know a good deal when we see one. We'll take the money. I mean, it was like 5.5 ducats, but we'll take the money. So our second army is also starving because we're not able to get food. I still can't believe I read that the game is paused. Honestly, I just want this territory of Neuchâtel. Right, because St. Cloud is part of the Parisian market, so we're there. Well, Belliard probably is as well, yes. It's really not about the goods, per se. It's just, and look, there's not a lot of people here. They have, 26,000 people. These guys have 13,000 and 17,000. I mean, that's 17 ish, 13, so it's 30, 55,000. That's not like a ton of people, but when you only have 380,000 people in your country, 55,000 people potentially coming in, that is a lot. Right? And it just gives us a little bit bigger of a tax base. Now, granted, we would have to incorporate them and all that. Now, in the last episode, of course, we did have our marriage union with Burgundy fall apart because of the death of her husband shortly after the birth of our second son, Robert. During wars, I do think I'll have the game speed on 2 times speed, so I do apologize for that. I am kind of getting more and more accustomed to the 3 times speed, though. So during peacetime, I think we'll go back to that. All right, so the siege has been going on for 31 days, sorry. No, wait. 97 days, 31 days left. Negative 40%, 2% chance of falling, negative 49% chance of falling here in the sun. Honestly, we're going to move that army. Hello? Hello? There we go. We're going to combine our forces. The army will no longer be starving, hopefully. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's the hope. And honestly, I'm not that concerned about this. I know that's going to hurt my war score, I'm sure, but all I want are these 3 territories that I border. Now, maybe eventually, if I continue to push like to the south or the east, that I would, but for right now, no, all I want is this. These 3 little territories there with those 55,000 people, and I want to get the prestige for winning a war, of course, but... And honestly, St. Cloud with its beeswax, it's not an insignificant resource. It's not like super duper profitable, but it's not nothing. Yeah, we know. The Second Army is starving, I'm aware. It still cracks me up that this is the best we could do. They have 374 people left in the city. We can assault. We will fail the assault. Plus 8% progress. Average literacy of soldiers plus 1.13%. Army tradition negative 1.14. Or offensive. The general's administrative. Well, sure. Like, I do get it. Like, this, we're not very good at this. And then just out of curiosity. Well, we could take both. We could take both provinces, with the exception of Noctil. Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because we have Besson that we are trying to get a claim fabricated on. And this is actually really big for us because that's a town. And we don't have a town. Nor do we have the 400 ducats needed to build a town. Status quo. Say fort level 2. You know what I think we can do though? I think we could go up here. $78 ducats. Well, I would like a little bit more. We are going to go up to 3 times speed. Try to speed this up a little bit. Because we also know that the Black Death is going to be coming along. Is not great. France is no longer at war, apparently. Or Burgundy's no longer at war. France is at war. Loyalty of Normandy to France. Okay, France isn't at war, but then why is this like... Who has occupied England? Oh, Navarre. Okay. So the 100 Years' War is over. Well, as of right now, anyway. England got wrecked. In the initial, at least in the initial phase, England got wrecked. Now, I understand my army is trash at sieges. Like I get that. My commander is absolutely awful. Understood. It's still been going on for half a year. Like, even with the fact that we are terrible at sieges. And how many people live here again? 14,000, right? So, I mean, that's like 70,000 people all told. That almost gets us to 500,000. Now, most of those people will probably die the Black Death, but temporarily, it almost gets us to 500,000. We are building the road, which takes us down to 7.47 ducats overall from Montbazon to Vesoul. Because Vesoul has the most amount of wealth. 5 is one of our wealthier counties, 5.68, tax base due to control, 3.72. Like even down here, yeah, down here, it's not there. 2.2, 1.1, 0.55, 1.04, 1.39. It is by far our most profitable county. So that's where noblesse ally with the foreign power. The noblesse often prove unruly subjects of the countess, seeking to resist any infringement on their autonomy and seizing the opportunity to strengthen their position. This often includes making common cause with foreign powers. Recently, several key figures appear to have struck an agreement with Savoy to advocate a pro-Savoyard course of action in return for certain favors and promises. While not exactly treason, this behavior is certainly detrimental to our interests. However, raiding the bid is likely to prove no easy matter. They will pay for their treachery. Savoy loses 20 penny to us, and we lose 10% of state satisfaction, or we can lose 10 legitimacy. Yeah. The nobles could be unhappy, but they're the ones who made the decision to ally with a foreign country. Right? That wasn't my choice. Now, Nyon has wine, they have lumber, and they have fur, livestock, legumes, and wheat. We do get Master Mason's advanced research. Construction speed plus 5%. Our construction efforts should never rest and leave our villages and towns idle. Employing a master mason who will oversee and plan our construction work, we can make significant improvements in expanding our own country. And we are making progress on the siege. Not very quickly, but a little bit. Siege started 211 days ago. Now, you could make the case, right, that, we'll take Besson, or Besson Khan. I apologize, as always, for any and all mispronunciations. It's not my intention. Right, and they're also allied to them, and then we can try to take them later, but I'd rather take it now. Supply shortage for them or us? I mean, I'm guessing for them because they lost a few more men. Although not a lot. They're down to 356 out of 550, so... And again, without a better commander, without better soldiers, this is definitely tough. Ow, sorry. Like I said, my ankle has just randomly been hurting the last 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Not entirely sure why. Lorrainian exile. Johann de Nancy, a political exile from the Duchy of Lorraine, has appeared at a court. He's offering his services to the Frank Comtois monarchy in return for protection from the Lorrainian Duke. Should we take him in? Yes. We gain 10 prestige. Lorraine loses 30 opinion of us. Yeah. he is very, very good. I mean, if I could, I would leave the siege and then come back, make him my commander, and then re-siege them. But that would be dumb. Or that sounds dumb to me anyway. But again, 96%. You know, so we are going to be able to have a claim on them. Lorrainian exiles. Johann de Nancy is thankful for being granted asylum at Frank Comtois court. However, he has recently drawn attention to the fact that there are many other Lorrainian notables at his position, men of great wisdom and influence. He insists that it could be useful to allow them to join our court should we wish to step up our opposition to Lorrainian ambitions. We will take them in. 100 Lorrainian pops will migrate each month from Vosges to Milieu for the next 60 months. So that's 1,200 people a year for 5 years. So 6,000. Lorraine will lose 30 more, opinion on me. And where are they going to Milieu? I'm not sure where they're going exactly. We can destroy Bescan. Or Besancon. Which also has a level 2 fort. We're still making money in January, which is nice, although February is typically worse. The first army is what we're going to move to Arnans. Defenders have finally started to desert. Our war exhaustion is starting to go up a little bit, though. And again, Denancy we are going to allow to be our commander here. We cannot start a war when we have levies raised. Alright. Interesting. Nancy is at least now considered the commander of the army. He is kind-hearted, which... I mean... Is it necessarily what you would want from your commander-in-chief? Like, overall, being kind-hearted as a human being is very good. As your commander-in-chief, I'm not sure if that's really what you want. It would be amazing if we could actually take this place. don't think we will, but that would be amazing. 41 days left on the road building. Water shortage, right? Yeah. We'd still fail in assault, apparently. Although at least now it's a positive 21% for a fall of the fort. Surprised these people have not ever tried to come to their allies' aid. Because allegedly they have 611 men somewhere. I don't know where, but it says they have them. And I mean, I do understand how you can't declare war with levies raised. It would have been kind of nice to be able to do that, though. Just say, hey, we're already at war, bring the army this way. But I get it. Defenders desert. It's gonna last over a year. This siege will last over a year. Gravel road has now been built. We almost have a 1 in 3 chance of winning the siege. 28%. It's not quite 1 in 3, but it's, almost. Just over 2 ducats a month now in income, and I mean, again, we are in our money-making months, so that's not great. But you can see Vesul is up a little bit more in terms of control and proximity. It would be nice to be able to take this place. Supply shortage, still 28% though. Like, I don't understand. In a way, I do, right? Because we suck, we don't have kids and all that. I understand that aspect of this, but for a 1 county, 1 province nation, when you are being besieged, and you've been besieged for over a year now, over 13 months, it'll be over 14 months by the time this turn is complete. How are you still resisting? You've been on negative 18 food for a long time. You've had water shortages, you've had supply shortages. There's no breach, so I guess I get that, how it's still standing, but... Wait, Vesul has less proximity now? Well, how? You have a road. I mean, okay, I guess it doesn't necessarily get you closer to Paris, but still. And of course, like, why would it change? We're never gonna take it. They're going to enforce white peace on me. Like, this is just really amazing at this point. A year and a half. This place with no men, no food, no other territory has survived for a year and a half. Knowing that it's short of supplies multiple times and short of water. And I think I saw Defenders desert at one point too. Yet it refuses to fall. Like, that's impressive. I can't lie, that is actually impressive. And again, I get the fact that my army sucks. No argument there. But still feels like the kind of thing that should be taking place, right? It's not gonna fall, is it? Nope. Defenders desert, though. Still would fail the assault. Well, we've reached the accumulated status of the siege. The maximum is 11, after which you will not make any more progress until the besieged surrender. It's really kind of impressive. Like, we won't win an assault. They have half of their garrison. We're not going to make any more progress because we've hit the maximum. So building that road, I guess, at Vesul had... Well, wait, now we are up to 68%. I'm so confused. Like, we were at 61, now we jumped up to 68. Freaking fall. I mean, it won't. There won't be a change or some other bullcrap will happen, but my army will probably start starving. Oh my goodness, we finally took it. That's all I wanted. Amont, Aval, and Basil all come to be. We lost 203 Ben, 220 overall. They lost 432. We did win. Can now disband our levies. Technically, Lake Neuchâtel, southern Germany, it's oceanic climate and it's a lake. So we have a little bit of waterfront property. It's a lake, but we can get fish. Which ironically, they have grain. We do have a tiny bit of trade capacity now, which is also interesting. We are going to try to... The Ilias Quasi Pro Divini, the soldiers of Christ must once again spill their blood upon the shores of the Holy Land. The spirit of the Crusades must be revived, for God wills it. It ends in 1345. Of course, we are trying to improve the relations of our neighbors. We do need cabinet ministers. Louis de Neuchâtel. Is going to work out a Mont. And the Nancy will come in. And he will do a ball. So we do have 2 cabinet ministers now, trying to integrate 2 provinces. I think we have an available rivalry spot now. The nobles demand privileges. The privileges of the noblesse have been under continuous assault as Countess Jean III has attempted to centralize more and more control. The noblesse have finally lost their patience and are demanding they give back what they believe is rightfully theirs. Fine. Nope, we can only have one rival. That's interesting. I would have thought we could have had more than that, but... Let's see, we are up to 442,000 pops, so I mean, that is... That's not nothing, right? You know, it's not like a massive amount of people, I understand that at the same time, but... It's not nothing. So we do have a tiny bit of trade capacity. silver, gold, and gems. Paris from Sevilla will take the gemstones. Or the gems, right? And that's what we will use our trade capacity on. And Duke Philippe, the Lord de Bourgogne, who is he married to? Elena de Seba? She's Piedmontese. Yeah, don't love that. But okay. He is now 21. He is still the heir to French Copte. Cleary Train Advanced Research. We have now researched Cleary Trade, which gives us the following benefits: 10% RGO size of rural. We must take the far reaches of our country in order to expand our economic capabilities. Not only will provide more space for our people, but we can optimize our contributions to our country. I don't think this changed. I really don't think this changed. I think we are at 80.4% already. Let's double check that as we get into January 1345. But I really do think we were already at 80.4%. We got 5,400 men in our army now. It says we get plus 1.67, plus 1.68. I don't think it changed much, but we'll double check. Robert is an idiot. Ability increases during education, negative 0.66. The child is a complete idiot, and there's very little that can be done to give them a decent future. Reynard de Montfaucon has reached the age of 16, and he is a ruler, second cousin, courtier of the county of French Copte. Bacon has appeared in Genova. Money lending has existed since Middle Cascades first appeared in antiquity. However, its availability is heavily dependent on the dominant people, culture, and religion of a given state. A shift occurred in the Middle Ages, encouraged by the renewed growth of long-range commercial activities on the Eurasian continent and its peripheries. Specialized moneylenders began to organize with Jewish communities to operate between the Christian and Muslim worlds. However, the boom of credit demand that followed the Crusades in the 12th century encouraged merchants in the Italian city-states to create larger structures for moneylending, effectively founding the first banking institutions such as the Perusian and the Barney houses. More instruments were developed, like bills of exchange and debt, bonds, and banking dynasties such as the Medici, Fugger, and Welser soon became as powerful as states. So it got to 80.59%. Now we do have a castle. Building maintenance is 1.10. It does help with possible nobles. Fort level allows zone control unrest at plague at 5%, plus 500 garrison size. Cost continues to go up though. I'm not sure why the cost continues to go up. Like, why does the cost go up by day? Like, oh, because we don't have all the. Okay. No, wait, it says we have all the employment, so what are you. Okay, I guess. December 1st of 1346 is when we think Amont's going to be integrated, which is Mount Belliard. Yeah, February sucks, man. Can we build a spy network on them? I mean, I'm not a big map painter, but at the same time, trying to expand, right, and give us a fighting chance here. I do think we'll probably be wrapping up the episode. The other reason for the negative debate is because the Estates General, that does also cost money. Grace changes stance in debate. It seems that the States General members of Grey finally realize how beneficial the currently debated proposal will be to them if it passed. Their support for our cause is most welcome. 5 prestige and 5% support. And we have 7 days. We gain 5 diplomats, the Bishopric of Basel, County of Vaud, the County of Bar all gain 50 pity of us. The sword alone will carry us so far. It would be far more beneficial for us to let the pen support the sword to achieve greater things. Our main concern should be the minor countries around ourselves. Okay. Can we improve our opinion with Basel? That might be interesting, right? Negative 0.79 ducats still. Good lord, like this is just. It's just painful. Like, it is just painful watching this go on. I mean, this is not supposed to get integrated until 1353. For what? For one place. It's going to take us 8 years to integrate one county, which I appreciate the realities of that, right? I mean, it should take a while, but 8 years seems a bit extreme. It does seem a bit extreme, I can't lie. I mean, this isn't a lot better. December 1st, 1346. But anyways, I have 21.5 ducats. We are making a little bit of money, 1.41. Nobody has asked us for land back, right? So at least there's that. We have wheat and fruit. Where be another province we don't have, fully integrated. So that's something I'm going to try to learn from the Bulgaria save, right? Is to integrate our territories a little bit more rapidly and focus on that rather than other things, at least at this time, right? But I do think that's where I'm going to be wrapping up the episode. We are in April of 1345. Thankfully, we did win our first war. We did expand our little duchy a little bit. We're trying to integrate it now. It's going to be a long process, apparently, but that's okay. Eventually, we're inching our way towards 500,000 people. Of course, I'm still very much interested to see what happens when our character here dies. Of Jean, who is now 37. So in theory, she has a long time to go. And our son is 21, right? And he's married, and he now has a heiress, Blanche. So in theory, Burgundy, which has 500,000, that would, if they did just combine, that would give us about a million pops. Roughly the size of Portugal or Poland or Bulgaria. That would be big, obviously. That would be very, very big. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, right? But, or if I would have to integrate it, or how that would all work out. We'll kind of zoom out. We got some wars down here, a little bit of Ottoman aggression there. Golden Horde, it's got a lot of occupation going on it. Did Tlemcen beat Morocco? I must be doing something wrong, because that's interesting. I mean, I'm sure I am like that. There's no doubt about that. But in the context of the game, that surprises me a little bit. Well, we'll let the game run here for a second. I'll be right back. The risks of trade. Trade over large distances can be risky if profitable. The weather brigands and pirates remain a threat on land as well as on water. Normally, the bourgeoisie can cope with certain amounts of mishaps, so they have their own ways to protect themselves and ensure their cargo. Lately, however, things have been going badly for a large number of merchant families, and some are on the brink of bankruptcy. It may be prudent to offer some financial compensation. Lose 70 ducats. Yeah, no, we will just let them be unhappy. Like, we don't have the money for that. But anyways, that's where we will wrap up after that event. We'll let the game run till August 1345 rather. And then at that point, we will call it a wrap. But thank you everybody for your time today. I'm glad we got that first war in. We will try to get that second one here in this town of Besançon. Right, to try to get some actual burgers and things that we can build. The Paris market, the rural cloth makers now, again, not making any profit, which is unfortunate, but we are almost up to 90% on Amont. We're at 81.73% on Aval, integrating them, so once we were here, we can go try to integrate Basel. And maybe at that point, we'll declare war here. Right, we are building up another spy network there. We are trying to improve opinion in Burgundy still and in Benoit, as well as in the bishopric of Basel itself now. Thank you, everyone. Hope I will have the opportunity to talk to y'all later, and I'll try to get better at this. And I appreciate your patience and hope everyone's doing well. Till next time.